Well, if you've been thinking about buying a smoker, this is a Brinkman vertical Trailmaster, I think is the title. Sam, my pup's trying to get under there. Sam, come out of there, buddy. And it's a pretty nice smoker. It has some goods and it has some bads. The good is the price. It's about $250 if you shop around a little, maybe a little less, plus tax. I've read a lot of things on the internet about this, about how poorly the stuff is made and it doesn't seal up good and so on. And this actually was pretty decent from the factory. The door closed pretty nice. I didn't really have any significant issues with the way things were made. You can see that I went ahead and added a gasket around the door. And I just did that because I read a little bit and I thought it was worth the $25 or so that I paid for the gasket. It helps you maintain the temperature a little better, I'd say. You can see here this has a flapper that you can turn. That's wide open and it makes it draw pretty hard and it gets pretty hot in there. I've got the temperature up about 300 and something right now as I just put wood in. So I damp that down a little and let it run. My temperature is about 300. That's a little higher than you would normally run, but the biggest drawback on this is maintaining a certain temperature because the firebox is so small. This guy has a handle here so that you can pull it along pretty easy. It's got good steel wheels. It's good heavy gauge metal. But again, I think I would like something a little different, and I'll explain why. Okay, here's the firebox. We're running, as you can see, I got the door open. I draft better, a little better with the door open. I can maintain the heat a little better. See, I got a pretty good fire in there right now. That guy's running along. I've used it enough to burn the paint off. That's not an issue. This is the latch to open the door. If you open it, you can see in here I got a couple of Boston butts cooking. They're almost done, but not quite. Got a pan down here. I need to put a little water in that. That's where the grease drips. So we'll put some water in there. Now there's a little door on the back so that you don't have to open it to put the water in, but I don't have anything with a spout on it. The fire comes in there, the heat comes in from the bottom. I added a little metal right there to deflect the heat over more so that it has to run over and kind of come up. A real issue here is these. You see how easy that tips? It's a little bit hot. See how easy that tips? If you have meat on there, you can't take that out to rotate the meat so that it cooks evenly. So what happens is, as you're sliding the meat out, if you're not careful, it tips and your meat goes on the ground. That's one thing I don't like very well. I have two Boston butts in here, and you can see there's no room. You can barely, they just really don't fit in there like that. But I put them that way so they would cook evenly. I'm going to close that so that I get my temperature back up. I'm going to open this up and let it burn hard for a little bit. The tower is nice, but you cannot get two 8 or 10 pound Boston butts next to each other. There's just not enough room. I put two fresh picnics in there last week. I was able to put two of those in, about 9 pounds each, on one rack. The racks are too close together. The way they come from the factory, they're too close together, so the meat rubs on them and it knocks the seasoning and stuff off. That's kind of a drawback. I think Brinkman did a nice job with this, but it's not well thought out. I would have rather have had a rectangular chamber so I could slide the grills in and out. But rectangular means they're going to have to weld the corners and stuff. This is just rolled, and that's much cheaper in the manufacturing process. The fire, if you can't put wood in there and go away for an hour and a half and come back, you got to tend to it probably every 30 minutes or so because the chamber's so small. The little grate they send with it just basically bowed the first time I used it. It wasn't very sturdy, so I'll open it again. You can see I bought a basket. I bought that online, that metal basket. That works well, but again, it limits how much wood you can put in there. So I'm going to have to do some more modifications there. All in all, it's a pretty nice smoker. This is my fourth run with it. I've got some picnics and some Boston butts and some ribs done in there and some nice pork neck bones. If you're a putterer like me, it's a lot of fun because I have to come out every little bit and check the fire and throw a piece of wood in. Tell my Sammy dog back there to take a little break, and he's waiting for the bones. Would I suggest you buy it? It's alright. I think it's a lot better than the horizontal smokers, but that'll be up to you to decide, and it's a $250 plus experience to decide if you like it. And of course, once you use it, I don't know if you can take it back. There's not many reviews out there. Out of 1 to 5 stars, I'd probably give it a 3. I'd say I'd like it, but I don't absolutely love it. I hope this helps a bit. One other thing before I stop recording here. This thing was super easy to put together. The documentation is very well done, and the instructions how to season it are very well done. So if you're thinking about buying a smoker and you want something that's fairly small and you don't mind loading it every half hour, 40 minutes, this is the ticket. It's a good price range. And I'm here to tell you, the stuff I've smoked in there comes out absolutely fabulous. Some of the best barbecue I've ever had. Well, I hope this helps you in your decision process. Have a blessed day and be safe.